of power sector privatization. Hello, good evening and welcome to News Round on Impact Africa Television, ITV. I am Han Oluwapo Omoride. We begin tonight with the All Progressives Congress, which has described as fake the report that its national convention has been suspended till June. In a statement today, the party urged the public to disregard the report, just as it pointed out that the dates for the party activities are usually communicated through non-official channels and not through speculated sources. The National Secretary of the Caretaker Committee of the party, James Akpanu there, noted that the committee under the leadership of Governor Mai Malabuni will not be distracted by the antics of the sponsors of fake news. He also stated that the committee is already embarking on nationwide consultations with party stakeholders to prepare the ground for a rancor-free national convention. A presidential aspirant in the 2023 polls, Kingsley Moghalu, today said he forgot to inform President Muhammadu Buhari of his intention to run in the 2023 general elections. Moghalu, a former deputy governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, contested for the presidency in 2019 on the platform of the Young Progressive Party but lost to President Buhari. He, however, joined the African Democratic Congress in 2021 and declared his intention to run for the same office in 2023. Moghalu's revelation follows the declaration by Bola Tinubu and the Ebonyi State Governor Dave Umahi that they will be running for president in 2023. The leader of the Pan-Yoruba socio-political organization Afenifere, Ijaw Adebanjo, said the former governor of Lagos State, Bola Tinubu, has the right to contest the 2023 presidential election. Adebanjo, however, stressed that the group will not queue behind any candidate until the country is restructured, arguing that the present constitution must be changed before the 2023 elections. Moving on, ahead of the 2023 general election, a support group in favor of Governor Yahaya Bello has frowned at Tinubu's presidential ambition. At a news conference in Abuja, the group called on the All Progressives Congress national leader to share his 2023 presidential ambition for young Nigerians. The Director General of the support group, Oladele John Niyi, argued that Nigerians need a young and vibrant intellectual to run the country.
We are therefore, on behalf of the Nigerian youth, appealing to our national leader to halt his intentions of informing Nigerians about his supposed lifelong ambition. For we are not ready to cooperate, as our yearnings and cry for power would not be cowed by any sudden lifelong ambition, and mostly not by the older citizens of this country. Telling us about this lifelong ambition would translate to us disrespecting an elder statesman who ordinarily we are supposed to be looking up to for advice, mentorship, and more than ever, mentorship as we take over power. In 2023. The Youth for Youth agenda is already in motion, and we are prepared more than ever before to stand by any of our own. Rather than recycling old politicians, we are ready. So if we must talk about zoning at all, if not minding the fact that it's not even included in our party, the APC constitution, we should be talking about zoning the presidency to North Central or Southeast. And above all, the only zoning the Nigerian youth will reckon with is zoning by age. We don't want a situation whereby the country will be zoned to any part of the country, the presidency will be zoned to any part of the country. The only thing we are in support of is changing the old order to a new order. And that is to say, anybody above 50 years of age should gladly take the backbench and continue to support the young ones, while the people below 50 take over the leadership of the country. And we believe they will run it effectively. Another question.
The governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, has expressed shock at the demise of the former Oyo State Governor, Adebayo Christopher Alawakala, who passed away in the early hours of today. The governor made the remark during the 2022 annual interreligious service, which took place at the governor's office in Ibadan. Our correspondent, Anwar Kumlafe, sampled the opinions of people on the life and times of the former governor.
The news of the demise of the former Oyo State Governor Christopher Alao Akala has left many Oyo State citizens in shock. Akala, a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress (APC), was a former governor of the state between 2007 and 2011. The Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, who was attending the 2022 annual interreligious service when the news broke, declined to deliver his prepared speech and urged workers, political appointees, and religious leaders to observe a minute silence in honor of the former governor.
And he told me of the passing of our former governor, Governor Adewale Academy. And I couldn't take the news. But I decided I should wait. Let you know I won't be able to deliver this speech. I'm going to delay for 1 minute silence.
He prayed that God will grant his loved ones and all his well-wishers the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss.
Well, I can only say, pray, Allah had the family home. Allah had the people out there, all the family. One thing or the other. Allah had the family. Will give us strength to bear the loss.
Those who spoke with Impact News crew described the former governor as a man who left indelible footprints in the sand of time and a political pillar in Ogbomoso land.
He's a very good governor. You have tried his best, so cannot blame death. Death can come at any time.
He's just a nice person. Everybody talk good about him.
A good governor to us. May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. He is a workers-friendly governor. Very humble and reliable.
Akala, according to sources, had a long battle with diabetes. He attended the Olubadan's burial a few days ago. Christopher Alao Akala, aged 71, was born on June 3rd, 1950.
And if God is in control, who is that power again that will take over from God? So I don't fear any power, and I don't know any power apart from God's power.
Anu Akomolafe, ITV News.
As tributes keep pouring in from all walks of life on the demise of Alao Akala, ITV takes a look at the life and the times of the man.
That it is a one short connection that made me to be able to rule Oyo State. And that is the truth. And I'm very comfortable with that.
The late Otumba Adebayo Christopher Alao Akala indeed came, saw and conquered. He meant different things to different people depending on which part of him is seen per time. Born on the 3rd of June 1950 in Ogbomoso, he had his elementary school at Oshupa Baptist Day School, Ogbomoso. He afterwards proceeded to Kamina Barracks Middle School, 5th Battalion of Infantry in Tamale, Ghana. The late Akala was enlisted as Cadet Inspector of Police in June 1974 at the Nigerian Police College, Ikeja. From the position of station officer in the Nigerian Police, he became the personal assistant to the Assistant Inspector General of Police and later on, the ADC to the Inspector General of Police. He rose to the position of Assistant Commissioner of Police and served last as the officer in charge of logistics and supply at the Oyo State Police Command before his retirement in 1995. Talking politics, the late Akala started his political career as a member of New Dimension. He contested and won the chairmanship seat of the Ogbomoso North local government under the platform of APP in 1998. He rose to become Argon chairman in Oyo State between 1999 and 2002.
I'm in politics because of Ogbomoso. If not because of Ogbomoso, I wouldn't have been in politics.
Oh, Alao Akala is in politics because
of Ogbomoso. Yes, I'm in politics because of Ogbomoso. And I don't try to say it anyway, anytime. In anything that I do, Ogbomoso first, my party second, my pocket last. So if they talk about Ogbomoso, they are right. Charity begins at home. I don't play with it. I can go at any length. By the grace of God, Ogbomoso made me what I am today. So, and I'm ready to do anything within my power to make sure that I don't leave Ogbomoso. And I don't leave Ogbomoso behind. And I play politics that I think will benefit Ogbomoso.
He served as the Deputy Governor of Oyo State from May 2003 to January 2006. Following the impeachment of the then incumbent governor, Chief Rashid Ladoja, Akala was sworn in as the governor of the Pacesetter State in January 2006 and served for 11 months. He would later contest and won the governorship election in 2007 under the platform of the People's Democratic Party, serving full term till May 2011. As governor, the late Akala initiated many policies in Oyo State. Prominent among them was the introduction of the popular micro vehicles, which is serving as an alternative in the state's transport sector even to date. He will also be remembered for his giant strides in road construction, especially the openings of feeder roads in the state. But there are some persons who have alleged that some of the roads, especially the interland roads constructed by your administration, did not last as long as they expected.
Cannot last if you don't maintain, even if you don't maintain your clutch for so many years. The chair way of the.
So it's about maintenance.
It's about maintenance when there's no chair.
Because there are some persons out there who would say, "Oh, I
cannot." No. They cannot do a shoddy job. They will do when they were enjoying it. But if you don't maintain a road for 10 years now, I left office 10 years ago. If you don't maintain a road, that's what you're going to have.
It is worthy of note that after serving a full term as governor, Adewale Academy tried severally to return to the Agodi government house. In a bid to achieve his aim, he tried his luck in some political parties like Labour Party, where he contested for the governorship seat in 2015, and the Action Democratic Party ADP in 2019.
Would anybody win that local government?
With Sheyi Makinde as the governor?
Nobody can win it. Nobody. My local government, nobody.
The PDP says it is popular in Ogbomoso land, and that come 2023, Akala might just be given a shot.
I am telling you that there's nobody can win Ogbomoso local government. Let them dare us.
He later decamped to the All Progressives Congress after the 2019 election and assumed the leadership of the party in Oyo State after the death of former Governor Abiola Ajimobi. May God give his family and the people of Oyo State the fortitude to bear the loss. Anuluapo Omoride, IATV News. The student wing of the coalition of northern groups today protested against the increase in school fees and other levies across tertiary institutions in the north. In a statement, the national coordinator of the group, Jamilu Aliyu, gave the government 3 weeks ultimatum to address the issue. Aliyu lamented that except the federal government takes measures to check the undue increase, the number of girls who will drop out of school will increase. He further argued that the lackadaisical attitude of the federal government towards addressing the issue will lead to the increase in social vices as students will be compelled to survive at all costs. The group appealed to the government at all levels to revert to the old fee to enable students from poor and marginalized families access to tertiary education and break the chain of poverty. Stakeholders across Ibadan have urged the Oyo State government as well as citizens of Oyo State to keep the environment clean to avoid contracting different diseases. They made this known in a chat with Oyindamola Olanlokun. She finds in this report.
Ibadan, the largest city in West Africa, has over time been known for its dirty environment, as heaps of refuse are usually found across the city of Ibadan on the highways and inner city roads. Many says the oozing smell from the heaps of refuse from the roads and drainage is not only offensive but also dangerous to the health of residents. Speaking on the effect of dirtiness to our health, some concerned citizens said continuous sensitization of people, especially those in the rural areas, will go a long way to reduce the trend.
We have to continue to sensitize our people, especially in the local areas or some corners of Ibadan, that dirtiness is very, very prohibited. They don't like it. And people should try to adhere to that advice. Pollution of air, pollution of water, and some other pollution like that, and which people they don't even know. So we have to let them know on our health. It's very good to have good health so that if our environment is neat.
You know, neatness is the antidote of diseases. So we need to keep everywhere we are tidy so that, you know, disease will not penetrate into our family and all that. So prevention is better than cure.
They likewise implored the government and people of Oyo State to keep the environment clean to avoid contracting different diseases.
All the shops, you know, should observe environmental. and last Saturday of the month. So it is a thing for government to, play its own role, and another thing for we citizens to abide by the role of the government. So as a matter of fact, any environment that is not neat, is bound to experience mosquitoes, all kind of disease. So neatness is very good. As a matter of fact, we need to play our own role as a citizen, as the Oyo State people. As government is trying its own effort, we should also play our own role to make sure we observe the environmental days that the government have laid down for us. Keep our place tidy, and all the dirtiness we have, we should carry it outside, so that government, all the people that government are assigned to pack it and go and dispose it, they can carry it and go and dispose it. So we need to play our own role so that we can prevent ourselves from kind of diseases. Our house, our building, our shop, we make sure it's neat. No matter how little the dirtiness may be around us, we should keep our environment tidy so that we will prevent ourselves from all kind of diseases.
The government should still continue, because they are trying. They should still continue, and by reminding people, doing it often and often, people will change.
It is no doubt important for everyone to be hygienic to have a qualitative health. Oyindamola Olanlokun, Impact Business Radio News.
As the 2023 general elections draws near, stakeholders have called for the adoption of a model of primaries which will ensure a true democratic process in Nigeria. Ayodele Fake has more in this report.
Reactions have continued to trail the readiness of President Muhammadu Buhari to sign the Electoral Reform Bill 2021 if consensus primaries is included in the bill. This is especially so as the 2023 general elections draw nearer. In reaction, lawmakers in the House of Representatives resorted to adequately addressing the matter in January. Reacting, the Oyo State People's Democratic Party spokesman Akim Olatunji is of the opinion that in the history of the country, having a consensus primary of any political party is not new, other than that it is democratic for any party to select any preferred form of selecting candidates, as consensus primary has its benefits.
Consensus is not new as far as Nigerian democracy is concerned in Nigeria, or even all over the world. So there's nothing new. We've been practicing it, and it's only when you fail to reach consensus that everybody goes to the field. But once you are able to reach a consensus, then it's the best, because all the stakeholders will be involved. But immediately any of them pull out or disagree with the decision of the others. So then the next thing is to go for primary.
Similarly, a public affairs analyst, Adesumbo Badejoko, said for elections, the country has over time been practicing different forms of primaries. He stressed that having a consensus primary has its advantages.
To save the party as well as INEC a bit of stress, it's going to be cost effective, because the money that will be involved will not be as much as having a real primary elections. And of course, time would be is an advantage. But in terms of the disadvantages, it will generate more feud, and it will give rise to more pre-election cases, which has led to situation that we had in Zamfara State, in Rivers State, even in most states. These are things that we do not want to have again in our politics. A situation where the courts will be determining the mandate for the people is not actually ideal.
The stakeholders nevertheless asked political parties to ensure all stakeholders come to an agreement and are all fair in all their doings.
The most important thing is for leadership of political parties not to force their decision on the members. They should allow the dictate of the constitution of various parties prevail.
We have a situation where some people are dictating what happens in the party, as well as how they run the government. And this is what the provision of that only direct primary option seek to address. But now that we have abandoned that, and the president has said if the options are included, he's going to sign the new bill. Well, it means we are stuck with this. We only need to appeal to the politicians to now begin to play the game in a more mature way and be fair in their dealings.
It is therefore important for the voices of all stakeholders to be heard when choosing a mode of primaries election, as it will ensure democratic process in the country. Adewale Academy, ITV News.
The Labour and Socialist movement, the People's Alternative Political Movement today, demanded for the reversal of the privatization of the power sector. This comes as the group rejects the hike in the price of gas and the potential increase in the price of fuel and electricity tariff. This group also demanded for the reversal of the power sector privatization done by the previous administration. At the press conference, the chairman of its Oyo State chapter, Ibrahim Mohammed, argued that Nigerians cannot and must not be punished for the failures and incompetence of the ruling class. The Delta State government has set up a panel of inquiry to look into the immediate and remote causes of the collapsed building in Okpanam, the Oshimili North local government area of the state, where 4 lives were lost. The deputy governor of the state, Kingsley Otuaro, disclosed these while speaking with newsmen after paying a visit to survivors of the failed facility. Otuaro assured Deltans that the report of the panel will be made public when it finally comes out. He, however, applauded the coordinated responses of the various ministries, departments, and agencies of government in the rescue operation, which, according to him, led to the rescue of many people from the robbers. The governor of Zamfara State, Bello Matawali, says part of the reasons why banditry persists in the northern part of the country is because apprehended criminals are released without punishment. Matawali spoke today when he received the federal government's delegation, which was on a sympathy visit to the state over the recent attacks on some communities in the Anka and Bukuyum local government area of the state. The governor added that another issue is the fact that Nigerian army is usually not armed with modern weapons. He argued that unless modern equipment is given to the troops, the country will keep losing the war against terrorism. He added that as a matter of urgency, the federal government should procure armored personnel carriers and deploy them across all parts of the country. Still in Zamfara State, the Zamfara State government says it is determined to ensure the full implementation of the 2022 fiscal year budget of over 159 billion naira. The State Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Aliyu Mohammed Toko, announced these while briefing newsmen on the focus of the 2022 budget, as well as reviewing the performance of the 2021 budget. He noted that this year's budget is about 36% higher than that of last year and will be fully implemented for the development of the state. The budget, which was assented by the governor last month, will focus on projects that have direct impact on the lives of the people.
Highlights of budgets proposed or budget approved for 2022 fiscal year. The administration started important projects. This administration started important projects and have direct bearing on the lives of the citizens. Similarly, it undertook continuation of some projects led by the previous administration. However, due to the dwindling resources and against expectations from federal coffers, the management of short-term portfolio became very difficult to manage. Following this development, we deemed it necessary to re-strategize our finances in an effort to meet the obligation both for long and short term. In this regard, the administration has liaised with donor funding from Islamic Development Bank, Tony Blair Foundation, and others in a bid to satisfy the yearnings of citizens across the state. The economic sector has received special attention this year. On this basis, a sum of 44,318 million, representing 52% of the capital estimate, is budgeted to take care of investments on economic empowerment through agriculture, public finance, fiscal management, private sector growth, and development of roads and transport infrastructures.
Any other question here?
The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has invited representatives from the United Kingdom, the United States, and the United Nations to observe the court proceedings during his next trial. This is contained in a letter written to the two countries and the United Nations. Kanu's lawyer, Ijaw, who wrote the letters on behalf of the IPOB leader, said that the presence of the representatives will ensure fair hearing. It will be recalled that Nnamdi Kanu is facing a 7-count amended charge preferred against him by the federal government, and his trial is scheduled to continue at the Federal High Court in Abuja on the 18th, 19th, and 20th of January. Ahead of the area council election in the Federal Capital Territory scheduled for the 12th of February, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has promised a level playing field for all candidates and voters. The Commission's resident electoral commissioner, Yaya Bello, gave the assurance today during a town hall meeting with women groups and gender-focused civil society organizations in Abuja. While assuring the masses of INEC's transparency and readiness, Bello charged women to come out and vote massively. Following the federal government's move to enforce the vaccination of local and state government workers, the Federal Capital Territory Administration has announced that civil servants without proof of vaccination will not be allowed to enter their offices. Taiwo Olarewaju examines this development in this report.
Following the federal government's move to enforce the vaccination of local and state government workers, the Federal Capital Territory Administration announced that civil servants without a proof of vaccination and negative coronavirus test results done within 72 hours will not be allowed to enter their offices as from Monday, the 17th of January. This is as the government warned that the persistent non-compliance or refusal by the civil servants to get vaccinated will be treated in accordance with the relevant provisions of the public service rules. Speaking on the development, the chairman of Oyo State Trade Union, Comrade Ogundinro Emmanuel, said vaccination should be voluntary and not by coercion. He added that such move is a violation of fundamental human rights.
Even if almost every citizen should be encouraged, mind my word, encouraged to take the jab, it is not by coercion. You cannot coerce anybody. We have various beliefs, we have various health situations. Although it is free, but you cannot coerce anybody. I trust my state governor. My state governor cannot coerce anybody to come and take the vaccine. In as much as it is good for us that it will prevent us from being affected by Omicron, but coercion, no. In fact, it is a violation of fundamental human rights. If the minister or whoever is giving that directive thinks well. So, this is part of what we talk about policy somersault. When it is against them, they will talk that somebody is infringing on their fundamental human rights. But if it is from them, they wouldn't care that they are infringing on others' fundamental human rights. So, coercion to go and take the vaccine is an infringement on the fundamental human right of each and every citizen.
On the other hand, a social analyst, Yusuf Olabamiji, commended the federal government, adding that the move will put an end to the spread of the virus. He, however, appealed to the federal government to extend the dates of vaccination.
I think it's better for everybody to take the vaccinations so as to prevent the spread of the diseases. Since it's a worldwide problems, you have to tackle it somewhere. That edition is good because they have been saying that everybody should go and get it before now. And they have given us an advantage to get it before now. And for people to have faith in getting the vaccinations, I think when they take their own decisions, we should not blame them. We should continue to appeal to people to go and get it. And if possible, they should extend it as long as possible until the majority of the citizens get that vaccinations.
On his part, a concerned citizen, Ajelu, said COVID-19 vaccination is for the good of citizens, even as he urged the federal government to create more vaccination centers.
It is very good because it's for our own benefit. Though in this, let's say in this Nigeria, it will be difficult for us because they are not spreading this thing across the states. Many people are going there for more than hours before they can be able to get it. So it will be difficult, but it is very essential for every one of us. Try the federal government to put more efforts on the spending of this the centers for the workers to get the COVID-19 injunction.
No doubt, getting vaccinated is the acceptable way to protect oneself against coronavirus. Taiwo Olanrewaju, IATV News.
The first son of the former head of interim national government, Adewale Edward Shunekon, says the family is still consulting with relevant authorities before the burial dates will be announced of their father. He disclosed this in company of some traditional chiefs from his late father country home, Itoko, in Abeokuta South local government. He also officially informed the Alakin Council as customs demands. He described his father as a man of integrity, stating that his late father exemplifies decency through thorough religious man who lived his life as a mentor to others. The ruler of Egba land, Obare Mugbadebo, also described the death of Shunekon as a loss to the kingdom, the state and the country, adding that he will never be forgotten as a great son of the land.
Part of what I've done is to come to brief His Royal Highness. We are now going to go into consultations and we will carry His Royal Highness along. Once the picture is clearer, we shall make further announcements. Being a mentor, somebody I could go to every day, and he just led by example. And so in everything I do, I would like to be able to consult him, but he's not here anymore. So I guess if I'm to sum it up, it's everything.
His love of his homeland, and that is what has endeared him to many people. Anytime you talk about anything in Egba, progress in Egba, education in Egba, you find Chief Shunekon in the forefront. He started with Abeokuta Grammar School and went to CMS Grammar School to finish. You know, he represented the best of this great nation, Egba land.
Next. Yeah, Kabisi. You identify.
You're still watching News Round on Impact Africa Television or ITV. We will now go on a short break. The news returns shortly. Please stay with us.
Welcome to Adewale Academy, an astute citadel of learning dedicated to raising future leaders.
Adewale Academy, a co-educational school with day and boarding facilities, is committed to instilling virtues needed to make a headway in life.
Our science laboratory is equipped with state-of-the-art facilities that makes learning very easy for students.
Our teachers are highly trained and up to the task of passing down knowledge in the most easy-to-learn ways. As we all know that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, our playground is top class and we take physical health exercise very importantly. Located in a very conducive environment in the heart of Ibadan at Adelaide bus stop, Alagba Wakajaye, Yano Church.
Adewale Academy is the best option when it comes to giving your words a quality education.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Mommy, Daddy, I want to attend the Adewale Academy, please.
Thank you. This is the school we have been looking for.
Admission form is obtainable at the school premises, Adewale Academy, Wakajaye Yano Church, Ibadan, or Impact Africa Television, IATV, Impact House, Kolapo Ishola Estate, Yano Church Road, General Gas, Akobo, Ibadan. You can also visit the school website on www.adelayoacademy.org or call 0805 947 9449 or 0706 091 0776 or 0810 965 2215. You can also call 0805 527 5583. Adewale Academy, developing character, competence, and confidence.
Welcome back. It's the News Round on Impact Africa Television, ITV. Now the rest of the news. The Nigeria Customs Service has intercepted 3,620 rands of live ammunition worth more than 1.4 million naira in Kwara State. The runs of ammunition packed in 14 cartons were intercepted at the Bukuro Baruten local government area of Kwara State. The State Area Controller of the Nigeria Customs Service, Hussein Ahmed, disclosed these while addressing a news conference in Ilorin. On Revenue Drive, Controller Ahmed also disclosed that his command generated and remitted 9.8 billion naira between January and December last year.
This epic seizure is very commendable at the backdrop of the heightening insecurity in the country. Should 3,620 rounds of live ammunition of this magnitude escape into the country and fall into wrong hands, the result will be appalling, devastating, and disastrous. I make bold to say that from January 2021 to December 2021, the command has generated and remitted the sum of 9,848,505,922 naira 48 kobo.
The United Arab Emirates has inaugurated a visa application and document attestation center at its office in Lagos Center. This is contained in a statement sent by the Office of the United Arab Emirates Consulate, stating that the event took place on Tuesday. The inauguration was chaired by the Consul General Abdullah Al-Maduz and was attended by the Special Advisor to the Lagos State Government on Sustainable Development Goals and Investment, Sholakwe Ahmad, the Controller General of Immigration for Lagos State, Ahmed Aliyu, among others. The Chief Whip of the Senate, Orji Kalu, says he is ready to challenge a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, for the party's 2023 presidential ticket. Kalu said that Nigeria's dream for a president of the Igbo extraction will not be affected by Tinubu's presidential ambition. Speaking with newsmen, he assured that he is the most prepared presidential candidate in Nigeria. Tinubu had yesterday declared his intention to run for the office of the president in 2023 when he paid a visit to President Muhammadu Buhari in Abuja. And moving on, the governor of Borno State, Babagana Umar Zulum, today revealed that the Abadama and Guzamala local government areas of the state are still under the control of the Boko Haram. The statement by the governor corroborates a recent statement by the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Abdulkarim Lawan, that 99% of communities under the Guzamala Council area is under the control of the Boko Haram. Governor Zulum made this known today when the chairman of the Senate Committee on Army, Mohammed Ali Ndume, paid him a courtesy call at the government house. Over now to the foreign